I'm Devlin Riley here with another episode of Riley's Roundup, and this week we have Delegate Joshua Cole and would we call you activist Anthony Foote?
Oh, no, I like that. That's a nice ring to it.
I kind of like it too.
We should totally do that.
Activist
Foote.
Done. Okay.
Done.
Thank you guys so much for coming in. We're going to jump right into it. Okay.
Absolutely.
Who do we start with? Who wants to go first?
And the man of the hour.
The man of the hour. I know. We're complimenting him on his lovely mask and the suit. I mean, you're looking just so snazzy.
Thank you. Always
Putting us all to shame.
Always dapper.
So tell us about Joshua Cole. Are you from Fredericksburg? Where are you from? Tell us a little bit about early childhood for you.
So I grew up here in Stafford County.
Okay.
Both my mom's side and my dad's side are from here in Stafford. The church I serve as the assistant pastor is actually named after my great-great-grandmother, Belle Carter. So we have rich history in the White Oak area, that area called Wildcat Corner.
Love it.
So I grew up here. I went to Falmouth Elementary, Drew Middle School. I started
My
off.
mom taught at Drew.
Really? What's
yes,
your mom's name?
Kimberly Riley. She was
Miss
a science
Riley.
teacher.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, Miss Riley.
Yes, that's so cool.
I started out at Stafford senior my freshman and sophomore year.
Yep.
My mom wanted me to do JROTC, so she transferred me over to North Stafford my junior and senior year.
Traitor.
And I graduated in North Stafford.
Yeah.
My dad was the first graduating class in North Stafford, so I followed in his steps.
There you go.
Very nice.
Okay, so what did you do after high school? Like, what kind of path did you follow?
So after I left high school, I went down to Liberty University.
Yes.
I stayed at Liberty for 3 years. I'm a college dropout, and I'm proud to let people know that I'm a college dropout.
Okay.
Because most people think that, if you drop out of college or you don't go to college, that it's the end of your life.
Right.
But I'm a success story that you can get jobs, you can get well-paying jobs, and do great after that, but still go back. And that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
So I went to Liberty. I was down there for about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I ended up working for Liberty as an academic advisor.
Wow.
I did ministry down there.
Yeah.
And the reason I left Liberty working, when you start working and doing school at the same time, sometimes it's hard. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so I got caught up in the money game, and I was making good money. I was paying bills, and I was like, I'll see you later, school.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, Anthony, give us a little bit about your rich history here.
How do I follow up with that?
I know.
You're
also a local, right? Because you went to JM,
I
right?
did go to
yeah,
JM.
You did.
I did go to JM. Quick synopsis, yes, I'm a foster child prodigy. I like to say those words together because I'm a success story for the foster children, and I went through the system here.
Yeah.
Yes, born in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and time took me different places.
Yeah.
Several foster homes. Had the privilege to help mold me for the most part.
Yeah.
But education-wise, several high schools. I mean, from Riverbend to Caroline to finishing at JM to moving out of state to Illinois to going to 5A high school out there, which is massive.
Yeah.
The traveling took me everywhere.
Yeah.
But more than anything, it taught me a lot through
Yeah.
the endeavors I was able to go on. Quick,
You're a bit
simple.
of a gypsy.
Yeah, quick, simple, easy. Kind of go with the flow out here in life sometimes.
Yeah.
But overall, very passionate about the city in which I am from.
Yeah, I think that's one thing we all have in common. I mean, all of us born and raised in this area, stayed around, came back as adults, love it, and we're just fighting to make the community a better place, right?
Absolutely.
So how did your paths cross?
So, funny story, Anthony's grandmother is actually my legislative assistant.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's that.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. I didn't know that
Yeah.
until we started doing, so he came and visited at the General Assembly. He was doing some good work. And during the General Assembly, when we're in session, you get a lot of these groups that come down to speak with their legislators. And then I completely forgot about him.
Yep.
How could you?
But then as we started doing the different things over the summer with everything that was happening,
Yeah.
I was like, this guy looks familiar. And Eunice, my LA, was like, I told you that's my grandson.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, she's always, I love her to death. I love her. Love her to death.
What does it mean to be the delegate for Fredericksburg?
Ooh, that's a heavy and a weighty position. And I think a lot of people get caught up in, he's on the news, he's all over our newspaper. But I'm really responsible for roughly 80,000 citizens between Stafford County and the city of Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
And that means fighting for equal rights. That means fighting for well-paying jobs, bringing well-paying jobs to the area. We have a report coming out that we're bringing some great jobs here to the area, so I'm excited about that forthcoming. Fighting for environmental protection, making sure that the Rappahannock River is clean. We have people who swim in it every summer, and we want to make sure that that river is clean. And even just having the relationships between the Board of Supervisors in Stafford, the City Council in the city of Fredericksburg, and the community, so that people know what's going on, because there's so much that goes on in Richmond and in the City Council and the Board of Supervisors, and everyday people may not even know what's going on.
How did you find your way to this position? Like, what was there a moment growing up where you thought, man, I'm meant to do something bigger than just working in a 9-to-5 job? Or what moment was it where you go, I'm going to do something bigger than myself? So
I never actually wanted to run for office.
Okay.
I always wanted to do policy and do work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And how it came about, in 2016, I was working for the state senate down in Richmond.
Wow.
I had no interest in being in elected position. I just wanted to do work.
Yeah.
So I got this job. I'm excited. I get to work with the senators, go over legislation with them, track legislation through the committee. But while I was down there, I would watch senators that I knew from being a pastor in the area. I knew them. Some of them were at my ordination service. And I didn't know their politics. And so I'm watching them have conversations, in the foyer of the Senate or before they go into committee, and they say, oh, we'll take care of this, we'll do this. But then they would go into subcommittee or committees where the votes weren't recorded, and they would vote opposite of what they said they were going to do, knowing that we wouldn't follow. And they'd come out and say, oh, I tried, but it just didn't pass. And I was like...
Not a politician.
But my mind was another place, because these were people who I knew, who had come to churches, who would be at different things. And it was a little devastating. And so after that, I was like, okay, we got to find someone to replace them. Again, I still wasn't going to run for office.
Right.
And then it just so happened in 2017, we came out and we ran for the first time.
Well, congratulations.
I
mean, I know it's a little late, a couple years behind. But
thank you.
Never too late.
I know, and Anthony and I, we've run the same streets, We've been on committees together for several years now.
Wow.
5, 6?
Yeah, and I see you've come to some stuff at the YMCA, which, is where I primarily work, besides this side gig here. that's paid in love. And
so luxury. But
Anthony and I've always noticed you having so much passion for just the working for others, helping other people, and now you're doing stuff with at-risk youth. Tell us more about some of the things you're getting into.
So it's a soft spot for me, honestly.
Yeah.
Considering I am a foster child, and to be brought up in a way where life was not always as promising.
Yeah.
It's so funny. So many African American youth, men, have that same backstory, where life does not seem as if it's possible or that you can make it to the next step. That's what this is about. The realistic behavior, the change is going to come from our youth who needs truth. So many things that we were taught or truth to us came second nature. My second nature, not in school. It came from different areas of the truth of our history or what it is that we need to prevail and push past. So BLM, yes, we always want to say Black Lives Matter. They always will matter, because right now that is what definitely matters, right? But truth be told, it's the idea that we have to consider that if we want to continue to matter, we have to change what's going to be mattering later on in life. And that starts with, once again, our youth. So for me, I was behind the 8 ball growing up. Didn't have the best teachers, didn't have the best tutors, didn't have the best educational front. Like I said, college dropout, yes, I am. I am one as well. But all those things taught me so many valuable lessons. And now it's one of those places where we have to give it back, or pay it forward, I should say. And by paying it forward, not looking for something in return. But we need the help of others, to kind of do that.
And is that where kind of you're starting is the youth here in the Fredericksburg community? Are you working with any nonprofits?
Yes, we actually are. TKE, the Knowledge Exchange. So Jimmy, Jimmy, Angie, and them over there, they are absolutely amazing. One of our board members, Dan Craddock, has been working hand in hand with Jimmy as they sculpt through this partnership, and as we as BLM stand behind it, of course. Right now, we've sponsored 11 students. I'm so prone to want to say like young adults or children, because there are children.
How
some
old
are young.
These children?
They all range
Okay. Do you have the?
The youngest, I want to say was 8. The
Okay.
oldest was somewhere in like 16, I think it is.
So what does it mean to sponsor them? Like, what is that?
I mean, it's a chance.
Yeah,
like-
but what are you guys doing?
Oh, for us, it means giving them the optimal chance to succeed.
Yeah.
It is having someone that cares about their craft,
Yeah.
a teacher, whether they're behind a screen or in front of them, or
Yeah.
mentor or friend. Like, their partnerships are beyond a surface level.
Yeah.
It's, truly understanding this young adult,
Yeah.
this student, and taking the opportunity or chance to mold with them.
Yeah.
I mean, talking to them or seeing them in action.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, if you see Jimmy and Angie in action,
Yeah. They're fantastic.
their faces
Are they a
glow.
couple?
Yes.
They're so sweet.
Yeah, like
I did ask that.
Yes, she asked
They're-
that.
they're
They
so
are.
sweet.
They are a
They
couple.
really are.
They are
Yeah.
a couple. And their
You can
stories.
see the love.
Their
and
story
when you
is
do
beautiful.
that, yeah.
Like
Oh,
off camera when they talk to her about it, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But no, just watching.
yeah.
Just watching their passion behind it, seeing how their faces glow, seeing how their volunteers or their board members all glow.
Yeah.
There is no shortage of passion for their efforts given to the child or the young adult.
Yeah.
And we just want to give them the young adult or child, that is, the chance to have that tutoring.
Yeah.
So yes, through the efforts, through BLM over the summer, through all that's been raised and awareness of, the money raised has been put back into the community. Yes,
For the
this is
youth,
true for the
yeah.
youth. We have to keep that trend going
Yeah.
while bringing awareness in other areas and while still fighting the good fight for the systematical errors and so forth. But first, it's our youth.
Absolutely. And so, what do you see for the future of Fredericksburg? What are some things that you want to work on with your position that you are going to try to focus on? If you can narrow it down to like 3, if you could. If it's got to be 5.
Education is top.
Yeah.
And speaking about youth, education is very key because when we look at what's happening, you have different areas, even in Stafford County, even in the city
Yeah.
of Fredericksburg, where you have like Colonial Forge or Stafford Senior High School, where they get the opportunities to exceed and do different things. But you look at some of the other schools, they may not have the same opportunities.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we have educational equity across the board, even in the city of Fredericksburg. Transportation is going to be key.
Yeah.
I think they said by 2040, the city of Fredericksburg could be up to 40,000 citizens living in the city. And that's a drastic change.
Just like one zip code?
Just in the
22401.
city.
Wow.
Just in the city.
That's where all those apartment complexes are coming
Yes.
from.
So we
Mind
have to
blown.
be prepared to handle that
Yeah.
influx of people who are going to live here. And so that means investing in public transportation. We have to make sure that we have multiple routes to get around the
Yeah.
area, whether it's building another bridge across the Rappahannock or finding like a new route to make sure that people can parallel Route 1 and 95. We have to prioritize transportation and our infrastructure.
Wow.
And on top of that, then it's housing. Housing
Yeah.
is extremely
Yes.
important. And so I've been working with Micah Ministries on a bill that hopefully we'll be able to introduce this next session. And
Yeah?
that's forthcoming, so I'll keep you
I
updated
just
on
said
that.
I had Megan in here. That's
I love it.
fantastic. Oh my gosh. So that's what you fight for. That's what you're doing for us. So how do you are there any opportunities for the citizens to sit and talk with you? Are there meetings?
Yeah.
How do people get in touch to go, "Hey, I see this as a need here in our area, and how do we tackle it together?"
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I try to have a very, very open office. We don't have a physical office because of everything that's been going on with COVID.
Yeah.
But I'm on social media. They can
Okay.
email us, and I can give you that information once we're finished today if you want to share it with
Oh, share it now.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you address the community in the camera? Go ahead and share. How do
if you
people?
want to reach out to us, you can find us on social media, whether that's Instagram, that's Facebook, that's Twitter. It's at Joshua Cole or at J Cole, that's JCOLE, the number 4VA. You can reach out to us on social media, or you can give us a call. Our office number is 540-642-0165. That's 540-642-0165. Or shoot us an email. That's Del J. Cole, DELJCOLE, at house.virginia, spelled out, .gov.
There you go. You got that down
Yeah, like
pat.
how did you practice that, honestly?
So you've been in the position now for 3 years, yeah, obviously.
This is actually just 1 year.
1 year.
So coming up in
Oh.
January will be a full year.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay.
So you're ahead of the gun.
So-
ahead of the gun.
Is there like a term limit?
We have 2 years that we're in the term.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to be running for re-election next year. Once we finish with session in February, I'll be time to hit the ground, knocking doors and everything like that, so people understand, hey, we got to get back on top of it.
Yeah.
And next year's a big year. It's the governor's elections, lieutenant governors, attorney general, and all 100 seats of the House of Delegates. We run for 2-year terms. Yeah.
Well, if you, which I will, stay in loop with the campaigns and be there, rooting you on. But if you were to stay in office, what are some things that you want to get changed outside of the 3 that we covered long term for Fredericksburg?
I think what we I keep focusing on infrastructure and transportation.
Because that's so big.
Right.
It's so big with the Fredericksburg being developing as quickly as it has in Stafford.
And we've made some great strides.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard, but just last week, Congressman Rob Whitman and Congressman Don Beyer of Northern Virginia passed what's called the Long Bridge Act of 2020. If you're taking VRE or if you take Amtrak or the CSX trains that go through Virginia, when they get to Arlington and they get to the bridge to DC, there's only one bridge. So that means the Amtrak has to wait for the CSRX. They have to wait, and they have to wait till they go through. So that's why VRE is delayed a lot of times.
Yeah.
But we just passed Congress just passed a bill to send money there to build an additional bridge.
Wow.
And so we could possibly see weekend VRE trains now. We could see probably high-speed rail coming through the area that will connect Richmond to Baltimore in a matter of just an hour or 2. That's the type of things we really want to focus on. But also, I really want to focus on making sure people are educated on government and civics so that they understand who handles what on the local level, who handles what on a state level, and who handles what on a federal level.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I decided to run was because when I looked at the representatives here, I could only count 1 or 2 people of color that were elected in the city of Fredericksburg and Stafford County. And so when I looked 5 years down the road, I want to see more diversity on the city council, more diversity on the board of supervisors, more diversity on the school board. And not just that, but even policy, those who are interested in policy and are writing the bills and are lobbying. I want to see more people with more lived experiences, because if you're not at the table, that means you're on the menu.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that
choices.
it's just, it is something, like, you didn't even know you wanted to run, right? So what if someone had presented this path to you at an earlier time? So it's like, how can we now get into the high schools or even the middle schools and kind of start teaching them? Because I can say, I mean, it wasn't something that we really focused on when I was going to school. And now as an adult, I go, I want to make a change. How do I do that?
I do it?
And my mind's going now, I wish it was something I kind of touched on, or they touched on, and kind of influenced us to want to do something more, have a voice, be bigger, be better. But like that, is that something you might do, going around to the high schools and talking to the kids, and what you're doing right now with the youth and instilling that in them, saying you can do this?
And we've started a little bit already. When we just look at what's going on, you have so many young people who, one, are not able to vote yet, or they're not eligible to run for office yet, but they've already done some great work. You have the Virginia Youth Climate Initiative. They're doing some great works. You have those with the activists who were in the streets over the summer. We've had to educate them on how certain things work so that they know how to properly advocate for what they want to see done.
That's fantastic.
And so it's just been amazing, because we now have young people, when I was 16 and 17 playing my PlayStation and focused on The Sims, they're focused on, I'm going to vote in 2 years and I want to know who I'm voting for. Or maybe when I turn 21, I'm going to run for city council. I'm going to run for the House. And it's just been amazing. It's just been amazing to see.
Quite a bit of that over the summer, watching them step in those platforms, or taking those leads, or taking those roles in general, and actually speaking on their truth. But I was going to say that Dr. Catlett and Principal Duffy has already enacted on taking necessary steps in the city of Fredericksburg, for JM that is, to build these said programs so that there are student bodies that will be governed in a certain way that give them opportunities to to bring them to the door to a school board or a meeting or a session. Allows them, it will it will fulfill that void to
Yeah.
give them what they're missing as far as that the little something, the little push.
Yeah.
But no, to my knowledge, and after speaking with Duffy and speaking in great details with him,
Yeah.
he has taken the time to start that process. So I will commend him for that as well.
Awesome.
Now, 2021, what are some big things that you're looking to do? I don't know, Jonathan Shores was in here, and I don't know if y'all are familiar with the G.
I used to work with him.
Oh, he's such a fantastic guy, and he was saying, I believe y'all were a part of the Paint the Block, or they were down in Mayfield over the summer, and everyone came out and painted.
Paint.
Piece
Yeah,
of the paint.
Piece
Yes,
of the
yes,
Paint.
yes.
Are we going to see anything like that in 2021? Where
Piece
it's
of
like
the paint's
when-
always here.
They
Well,
do it every
every
year,
year.
so that'll be bad.
when we need love more than
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Are some of the events that we're going to see, are they going to be? What can we see? What do you think we'll see?
Following, of course, paying attention to the governor's address and looking at the COVID guidelines, we have to be very strategic and more so cautious of everyone's health and keep that at the top of our forefront when we do anything, of course. But as far as I guess we use his Facebook name, Mr. Armani Washington, for that one. For the Piece in the Paint, he has been doing that for several years now. Yeah.
Wow.
And each year it gets bigger, it gets better.
Yeah.
Bands, food, clothing, bikes, shoes,
Yeah.
gifts. The
And
whole
they give away.
away.
They do give away.
Just here, just take. And of course, there's always something behind it in regards to making sure that the right young adult can kind of gets it, work harder to do it. Basketball games that promote those types of things, but our platform is the same way. We're looking to do those types of things, and by do them, we're putting in motion to do those exact things as well.
Yeah.
Speaking within our communities and having engagements with our young adults and or children, bringing movie nights and or going into our communities, purging your closet. We just did this last week, randomly purged our closets just to do it. We all have so much stuff that and I say I use the word stuff because
It is.
stuff. We can always go to the homeless shelters. We always can go donate it. We can do those things.
Yeah.
But so many of us on our own personal social medias have thousands of friends who are to our left and right of us, and most of them live around us, who need things, and most of them are too humbled to put themselves in a predicament to go get them.
Yeah.
The place to get them. So if they're comfortable enough to send you a message, oh my God, I seen that for my son or my daughter or my husband, acknowledge it, give them a head nod, and take it with a grain of salt and be a blessing to that person.
Yeah.
5 people gave over $25,000 worth of gently used items in a matter of 4 days.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's from their closets.
Yeah.
But all in all, it's just things like that, and that's why we decided to do something like this really quick with the
can you talk about
the black box. So we were just randomly thinking of how do we create something that's very unique, very rare, once in a lifetime. And we came up with the idea of the black box. And inside of each of these boxes, they're handcrafted from Fredericksburg's finest. There would be special things inside. So whether it's a date night, a beautiful lunch where meet your delegate over lunch.
Dress nice. 'Cause
Dress nice, dress
I mean,
dapper. Drip.
Yes.
The drip is nice. It just goes across the area of so many businesses in town.
Yeah.
There's still room for businesses to chime in on and
Yeah.
participate. It's free to them. You just
Yeah.
add value to the box. These boxes are raising money for those 11 students
Yeah.
to hopefully and possibly add another 11 to that.
Yeah.
The idea is to grow. We want them to have a full year of tutoring, and more so we want to bring more children and young adults into this program that we're sponsoring. I mean, through the way of the help of our community and the region, we believe that a raffle, awesome as this, where you can get an exclusive, whether it's a bourbon or a wine and so forth, it's a once in a lifetime. It happens once a year.
Yeah.
Only 6 have been made as of right now. Until next year.
They're beautiful.
Until next year. So I guess I don't know. I just
How
think
do
it's
they
pretty
raffle?
cool.
How do they buy a raffle for it? Like, how do they participate?
So
in it?
that's really simple. You can right now the website's being updated so that we can actually have the form buttons.
Okay.
But for now, it is going to be info@blm.org to send us the email. Each raffle box is varied in price. There are 2 wine boxes that are this size, and correction 3. 2 will be $5. One is a virgin box, and that is for products that are non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
So everything inside of it is going to be fun-filled and family-oriented with maybe cider.
Yeah.
All the others will be boxes of wine as well, 2 boxes of wine, and the other 3 will be whiskey and or vodka.
Ooh.
So $5 for the cheapest box.
Yeah.
$25 per ticket for the most expensive box.
Yeah.
But you have price variations all the way through.
Yeah.
So everyone has something that they can be charitable to.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have 10, sit in 5.
Yeah.
You know, try to win the box.
And so these are the children that are here in our community.
Yes. The Special 11 young adults students are here in the Fredericksburg region, Fredericksburg area and downtown, primarily coming from these communities, coming from the communities that have, do not have the necessary tools, still in the age of 2020, do not have the necessary tools to succeed at the same effective rate as their counterparts, even in the city.
Yeah.
So it is our responsibility to bridge that gap. Yeah. And this is one way to do it, to help us fund them so they can have the proper education. By that, I simply mean after school. They're getting a great educational services from their teachers now.
Right.
You know, no knock to any teachers, sorry. But no, I do believe that they're getting all the help they can possibly get, but sometimes you need a little extra on the back end. I wish I had it. So this is the way we can help them.
Well, that's fantastic, and I'm looking forward to 2021. Fingers crossed.
Yes.
You know, things go well.
Right.
Things kind of, first and foremost, just any.
Yeah,
I think the normal's kind of
gone.
But we've adapted, and it'd be some sort of normalcy.
Yeah.
So, leaving with the community, if you have just a nice statement of just instilling some sort of like passion or. If anyone's out there and they're debating, like, what if they're young adult, they want to make a difference, or if they are an adult and they want to make a difference, what would you say to them right now? How to do that?
One thing I will leave with you is the time is now. Some people have waited for all their lives for the right opportunity. Some people are trying to hold back and determine if it's the right time to jump in. The time is right now. You'll never know who you are affecting and who you're going to help by jumping in right now. And so there are people who are connected to your voice, who are connected to the work that you're going to do and the dreams and the visions that you have. If you hold back and you hesitate, those people are missing out on the great ideas that you have. So the time is right now. Jump in, get active, get motivated, do what you got to do, because people are waiting on you.
Well, thank you so much. And is there anything you would like to add to that, Anthony?
I think you just finished. No.
I mean, that was such a beautiful message.
That was a beautiful thing. If I have to leave with anything, it'd be one of my favorite quotes, and it is going to be, "My dreamer, why dream when you can dream wide awake?" Yeah. And you can take from that the most simplistic meaning by it. As you said, the time is now.
Yeah.
Live your dream. Be creative towards those needs. Take the steps forward to make the better future.
That's good.
Simple as that. So
first step, you're already halfway there,
right?
That's massive. Well, thank you guys for joining me. I will definitely have you back. I'm excited to see what 2021 has in store for us and what you guys are going to be doing. So
thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll be back next week with another episode of Riley's Roundup.